Alright, so this is going to be my review of Batgirl Ghost, The Resurrection Engine. Now, this is one of the many DC Dark Horse crossovers, and yeah, this rather than do one of their franchises they own, like Alien or Predator, this is a crossover between one of Dark Horse's original heroes, Ghost. Sorry for that pause there, I had a little brain fart there. Also, if you're wondering which Batgirl this is Cassandra Cain. This is like Cassandra Cain in her early career as Batgirl. Now, let me be honest with you guys right up front. I don't know a lot about Ghost. I really not because it was I never read it. It's just because I can't find a lot of Ghost comics. I know there's an omnibus out there. I haven't been able to find it. It's really hard to find these comics. But yeah, Ghost is a character I'm unfamiliar with in the Dark Horse comics. I know it's an original comic, but yeah, I initially thought she was an actual ghost. No, it's apparently superpowers that makes her look like she has ghost powers. But yeah, thankfully they gave in the trade I own, the trade I own of this comic. It basically gives you a bio on each of the characters from the respective universes. So for the villain and for the main hero, Ghost, and her main enemy, Malcolm Grey Matter, I was given a quick read-through in these little biopics. I was like, okay, now I feel like I understand. I will say this, is with all crossovers, this does feel like with all great crossovers, this feels like it actually pays attention to both characters, to both Batgirl and Ghost. Now, the big thing, like I said earlier, is that this is early in Cassandra Cain's this is early in her career. This is very early in her career as Batgirl. So if you guys remember, Cassandra Cain, when she first became Batgirl after Barbara became Oracle, she basically became, she was mute. She was, if you guys know her origin, Cassandra Cain in the pre-52 was, she is the daughter of Lady Shiva and David Cain, and she was trained to fight, and that was all she was ever known for. She was basically made to be a living weapon, and from there, her parents never really taught her to talk. In fact, she barely talks in here. It's only like a few words that she's learned. And yeah, I understand that, yeah, I am well aware that she does talk later on in the comics, but yeah, early on, she was basically like this silent animal that, more or less had to be restrained from killing everything. But yeah, and I really like that. I really like how, even though she's silent throughout this comic, Ghost, the Ghost understands that she is, she understands. There's actually a great moment where, just instantly, where Cassandra's playing with a spider 1 minute, and then instantly when they find a guy, she just goes instantly into attack mode. And Ghost is watching this, and she's like, she goes about doing violence as easy as a conversation. And like, yeah, that pretty much sums up Cassandra right off the bat. That totally. It totally explains her. Because here's the thing, Cassandra Cain is a total underrated badass. She is a total underrated badass, and yeah, it just kind of pisses me off that, everyone seems to forget about her, more or less, these days, especially in Batman comics. They forget her a lot. Anyway, what was I saying? So, yeah, the story is, so if you're wondering the story, I know, almost 4 minutes in and I haven't told the story yet. The story is that a bomb has gone off in a diamond exchange in Gotham, and all things point to Two-Face in this story. Yeah, who was in here, but it turns out there's a lot more to it than that, and someone else is working the scenes called Malcolm Grey Matter. Now, Malcolm Grey Matter is apparently this undying man from the Civil War who can basically who can bring back the dead. And I gotta say, if I ever find Ghost comics, I really want to read more about this Malcolm Grey Matter guy, because this dude is so much fun to read. It's very much him bringing back people, and he's just like, oh, hello, or something like that. And also, apparently, as I'm told, I don't know if this is true or not, but from what I'm told, this crossover is supposed to be in canon with a lot of the Ghost comics. So this is Ghost at this point hadn't met. Had not met Grey Matter up until this point, and she had only known him as the General. So from here, Ghost and Batgirl are both looking for these missing women after this bomb explosion, and meanwhile, Two-Face and Grey Matter are about to have this big gang war. So Ghost has to put her trust in Batgirl and Oracle. She has to put a lot of trust in there. If you're wondering, where's Batman in all this? Batman just kind of goes away. And it's kind of weird because Batman has this moment where, after the bomb goes off, him and Oracle have this conversation. And he's just like, stay out of this. I'll handle Two-Face myself. You and Cassandra don't need to get into this. I'm like, Bruce, why are you pushing him away? That's kind of weird. And he doesn't show up at all, except for the first part of this comic, and that's really as just Bruce Wayne. We don't see him as Batman at all in this comic. The story is a lot of fun. The action is really solid. The artwork, it does feel like early 2000s, like it's trying to be Jim Lee type artwork. The artwork was done by, sorry for the background noise, but yeah, the writer was Mike Kennedy, who I'm unaware of, but the penciling was done by Ryan Benjamin. The inks were done by Randy Amberlin, Michael Blair, and Howard Sum, and colorists were Edgar Delgado, Raul. I can't pronounce these other names, but yeah, the artwork's pretty solid. Again, I'm unaware of Mike Kennedy's work, so I can't really say what else he's done. But yeah, this actually got me into liking Ghost, so might have to go look for those trades a little hard. Any Ghost comics a little harder. The only Ghost comic I own is where she fights a Predator, and by fight a Predator, I mean just shoot it in the head. Yeah, for those who don't know, there was a Predator event in Dark Horse where the Dark Horse characters were being hunted by Predators, and for some reason, Hellboy was not a part of this. I don't know why. I guess Mike Mignola wasn't hip to an Alien Hellboy crossover or whatever, Predator Hellboy crossover or whatever. And yeah, it's basically Ghost hunting down, looking for lost girls. And then at the end of the comic, a Predator comes up behind her, and she just shoots it in the head, and that's the end of it. So that's really all I really have of Ghost in terms of comics. But yeah, if you're a big fan of Cassandra Cain, I'd say pick this up. If you're a big fan of Cassandra Cain Batgirl or a Ghost fan, and yeah, even if you're not a Ghost, if you don't know a lot about Ghost or are not a fan of it like I was, yeah, like I said, if you can find the trade, there's biopics of the certain major characters in Ghost, so you can get caught up in some degree, at least get an understanding of the character of Ghost. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. I thought it was just going to be an okay crossover. Turned out to be a really cool crossover. But anyway, so you guys tell me if you have read Batgirl Ghost. Just comment below, let me know what you thought of it. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this. And I will see you guys later.